Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen News Extra, going through some of the dev info given to us over the last few days. There was some further explanation of the current thinking for beds and logging out in space in the future. Beds will allow you to more safely log out if all of your crew are sleeping, so you may well not have enough beds for you and your crew, and a cold logout in space could potentially leave you vulnerable in that situation where you have some crewmen awake or not enough beds for all of them. Beds will be taken up by sleeping crewmen. Those crewmen don't magically disappear when they log out in a bed. They will literally be lying there. Even NPCs will want living areas and beds to sleep on. Bear in mind the amount of beds you and your crew will be taking if you're considering logging out in space. Otherwise, you're going to have to fly somewhere more secure before you log out. My understanding of this is that your ship will effectively despawn if you've logged out all using beds, but would remain in space for at least a long time if someone was awake or not logged out in a bed. So obviously those mechanics are still being fleshed out somewhat, and they will get tested, and whatever works will be put in. Docking in game is going to have some more constraints than earlier plans for docking collars and forced docking that they planned earlier. So we were going to have this ability for like the Cutlass to forcibly dock onto ships, that sort of stuff. They want you to be able to dock larger ships with space stations, effectively docking with large stationary objects. Ships will be able to dock directly into other ships effectively as well, or land on stations or land in hangars on stations. Fuel transfer will happen between ship to ship, but they're unlikely to be docked with each other. They can just fly very closely to each other, and they may look at docking collars again in the future. Some other stuff as well. The Cutlass Black will have room for a decent amount of cargo. Side doors will work on all Cutlasses. The Cutlass Red will be set up for longer term living in, so there's likely to be more beds and toilets and stuff in there compared to the other Cutlasses. Modularity will have restrictions. You're going to have a lot of choice with some ships for sure, but they're not going to be totally crazy Lego blocks when you were talking about modular ships and the weapons and stuff that you can fit to them. Freelancers will have live-in accommodations that the Cutlass would not. And some extra safety measures like escape pods and ejection stuff. You will be able to put grey cat buggies and or dragonflies into a few ships in 3.0, locked into their cargo bays, and a question of NPC betrayals and mutinies was asked. Basically, it looks like, depending on a scenario that you create or could potentially create, the NPC crew could betray you, so that they are definitely at least talking about that. In Ben's Day, episode 76, links in the description for that. Batgirl asks Ben some questions, and I'll give you some of the highlights of that. Foundry 42 has been really pushing to get some of the concept ships flight ready. The 600 series should be the next concept ship to go up on concept, and then there's lots of non-combat career concept ships coming after that, so nothing more military for the rest of this year, it looks like. Some weapons will be stealthier than others. They added the stealth components into the Eclipse concept cell as well, so it looks like you're going to be able to change your weaponry with the Eclipse to something else, obviously with other ships as well, but keep in mind stealth is now a thing, so some weapons are going to be burn a lot hotter or just drain a lot more power even just charging up. There are going to be more land-based vehicles that they will be putting into the game at some point. They are planning to add tug and tow boats effectively into the game. There will be ammo and supply ships. They are going to have economy nodes in game, and also ships that will work within or part of those economy nodes in regards to manufacturing. But there are no solid details for that yet, though. You should be able to spawn multiple ships and vehicles in 3.0 so that you can get your Dragonfly and Freelancer spawned in, and then your Dragonfly parked inside or whatever, or parked inside a Cutlass is probably more realistic. There are player and games mastered events in Star Citizen that they plan to be putting in, just not for 3.0. There are potential plans for more professional prints of ship brochures in the future as well, and the Eclipse does not have the range of a Retaliator, but it's going to have a long range for its size. Another note on CCU changes. There's been a lot of flip-flopping with CCU changes. So they are not ending $0 CCUs now. Specifically, they want changes that they're going to be putting the CCU system to eliminate the $0 CCUs for limited sale ships and limited sale times. It's the idea is that some ships are supposed to be limited, or people are supposed to be able to get them earlier and cheaper because of that. Having the ability to hold a free token to upgrade to limited ship outside of its sale date is not for its intended purpose. So some ships are limited for specific reasons. Generally, they want a ship to become flyable and then a CCU, a $0 CCU being made for it then. So you can swap to that ship if you want to at that time, and not for swapping whenever you want. A quick word on the Manchester bombing. It doesn't appear that anyone from Foundry 42 was harmed at all, but I'm sure a few of them have been affected. It is a terrible thing. My thoughts and prayers are genuinely to everyone affected by that in any way, shape or form. I'm so sorry for your situation and worry. Every month we give away a ship for May. It's an Avenger Titan. All you need to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen content during that month. Do you have any questions for me? Or about Star Citizen's development, or questions that you would like me to ask to the devs, or just interesting things that you think you've discovered on the Star Citizen Reddit or whatever. A special thank you to all my Patreons who do allow me to count the amount of content that I do. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon, please check out the links below. Everything else that we've discussed will be in links below as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.